Okay, today is the big day. Well, I guess it's not that. This is a Friday. My folks are in town and we're going to tackle a project. We have a Nature's Head composting toilet, as most of you know, but right now we have that little pea bucket in the front that we have to take out every time it fills up, because that's how the compost works. It separates the solids from the liquids, so you have to physically empty the liquids a lot more often than you would the solids. So to prevent us from doing that every 2 or 3 days or so, we are going to fix the toilet where we can route the pee directly from the toilet into the black tank, or maybe the gray tank. We're not sure yet. We still have to look around to see what we can find and where to go. We might be able to go straight down the old sewer, well, the black tank opening from the traditional toilet that we had before. We're not sure yet, so we're going to take a look. Let me show you what it looks like right now. As you can see, I've already taken out the container that holds the pee, the liquid waste. That would have been right here. So I've removed that, that's outside. So now all we have is this. So we're gonna take this off most likely, and we might just attach a hose from this point here and run it either underneath the toilet or maybe somewhere else, so we have access to one of the two waste tanks. So it's the next day. Everything is done. My dad and I finished this yesterday. We didn't record any of that really because it was just too much trouble. Courtney wasn't here, so it was just easier for us to do the work. But I'm going to show you exactly what we did, and I have some pictures that I'm going to put up as I talk about everything that happened. So we modified our Nature's Head toilet, our composting toilet. So the number one, the liquid waste, goes straight down into our black tank, instead of being collected in that canister that I always had to take out. So this is what it looks like. So this, we decided to use PEX. This is a PEX hose, and we use that all throughout this system that we created. Instead of using a much more flexible hose that just kind of runs behind it or whatever. So we ended up going straight down, as you can see, from the holding area where you actually pee into, and then it goes straight back and then down into our black tank. And I'll take this toilet up and show you what that looks like. But we have this really hard, clear, but it's flexible plastic piece that fits over where the liquids drain out usually. And it goes straight down. We have it clamped here with a little hose clamp, straight down into this PEX piece. And this is what we added. This wasn't necessarily required, but this is venting straight into our black tank. The thing that we wanted to avoid is having fumes from the black tank make its way up into our toilet and perhaps outside of our toilet. We have a 12-volt exhaust fan that should take care of that, but I don't know, just something didn't seem right about letting black fumes travel straight up. So we ended up installing that little ball valve that you just turn this way so it flows in line. This will release the liquids down, and we always have this down when we're using the toilet. When we're not, we just flip it back up, closes this off, and no fumes can get up past this point, and no liquids can get down past this point, so it's stopped here. So we just flip it down when we're using it, flip it up when we're not. So to take the toilet out, you simply kind of hold it here, lift up on the toilet, and twist back and forth, and then this thing just kind of comes out of the way. The nice thing is you can rotate this entire piece. So, for example, the ball valve could be in a different position. So when we take the toilet off, this is the first thing we do. We just tilt the toilet back, this thing pops off, and then it just kind of stays here. Okay, now that the toilet's off, you see everything we did here. We had a black, larger drain cap here, and the hardest part of this entire job was getting that cap off. This is a 12-year-old Airstream, and it's just supposed to twist off. Some of the other videos we looked at, the guy just said it twists off really easily. Maybe in a newer RV, or RV, it would do that. Not in this one. So we had to take a screwdriver and a hammer and actually hammer that thing where it actually started to turn. Then we can turn it, take the whole piece off. So if you look down here, that was completely open down into the black tank, and the black piece was here. So we just unscrew the whole thing, took it out. This is a new 3-inch clean out drain plug. This is a bulkhead adapter, and then we have another PEX hose here with a 1/2-inch PEX hose, by the way, 1/2-inch L straight down, and then this vents underneath the drain plug straight down into the black tank. And as you can see, to bring this up, we just drilled, well, cut, I guess, a hole in this piece of wood that supports the toilet. So the PEX just comes up through this L here and then up to the bottom of the toilet. And one more thing, just for cosmetic sake, if you look at this, originally this was off. So you just saw this coming down. But we put this back on, we just drilled a hole at the bottom, so it hides some of it and it provides some more stability going forward with the toilet. So we just put this back on, but this is totally optional. You don't have to have this. And if you remember, when we initially installed the composting toilet, there was a water hose that was connected to the old toilet so we can actually flush it. We just kind of crimped that off and we weren't using it. But since it's there, we decided, why not start using it? So we built a little sprayer using the water connection that's already there, so we could rinse stuff out in the bathroom with a little sprayer that you just hold in your hand. And it just comes up like this. And then when you're done using, you can just spray it out like this. Right now it's off. So turn that back on. This was not connected.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. There, that's in there. Lift up, and now you can spray out the toilet however you like. And if you're not familiar with the composting toilet, this is for solids. That opens up with this when you're going number 2. This is for number 1. So you want to keep, as much as you can, keep all the liquids on this side, all the solids straight down there. So, and that went all the way down because this lever is straight through. So water goes straight through when it's straight. Water stops here when it's closed. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. The 3-inch drain plug I showed you before initially came with this on top. So you might find that at Home Depot. The plug, this on top, so you can screw it in place. What we did is we cut this piece off the top of the drain plug, so there was a little square opening in top of the drain plug. That's where we installed the bulkhead union, which holds the PEX piece that fits down inside. So we just used a little jigsaw, cut this piece off, and that's how we modified the 3-inch drain plug that we used. And that's how we were able to seal the black area so no fumes get up, but we're still able to fit the PEX piece down so it drains into the black tank. So just wanted to show you that. Forgot earlier, but I kept this piece specifically to show you guys, and I forgot anyway. So that's how we did that. Okay, I hope that made sense. I know we didn't show you step by step as we were going through it. Sorry about that. Like I said, just easier to get it all done first. Only 2 trips to the hardware store. One initially to Home Depot to get everything, and then I had to get 2 hose clamps and some PVC cement. Oh, that was the blue stuff you saw around the hard plastic piece, just to make sure that no liquids can get out around that plastic hose that comes straight out of the toilet. So got that, got 2 hose clamps. That was my second trip, but really not too bad. It could have been so much worse. That's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. If you have any other questions or you want to see something more specifically that I have not showed, because I know I went over this fairly quickly, feel free to ask, and I will be happy to make a follow-up video.